Welcome to this week's episode, and I am doing a little bit of decorating. I have loads of odd DIY jobs that we need to tackle because I do have a photo shoot coming up soon. I'll chat about that later. So I really need to get this house in order. Job number one is cutting these scaffold boards to put them into the greenhouse. You might have seen last week's video where I had these new toppers on the raised beds. Well, those planks of wood was my temporary desk. So I ordered some scaffold boards and they were 8 feet wide. So I needed to just shave a few inches off the edge so that I could get them into the greenhouse and where I wanted them. So I cut 2 of these to size and they are now in the greenhouse and I have a proper desk. I'm thinking of staining these, but I'm going to ask my brother if he will lend me his blowtorch. He's a mechanic. And I was like, could I use that to char the wood? So watch this space. Now, I have a little garden friend. Miss Boogie is, don't take, okay, this was not a good idea, my friend. Buggy has been escaping the past, week. So I thought I would bring her into the greenhouse to give her a little space to explore. But yeah, she's a handful. I'm just after bringing in all of the seed sowing stuff that I had to get ready to sow some seeds in March. So I have some pots, some of the seed cells and trays and lids. My potatoes have lovely chits on them, and look at all of these sweet peas. Don't mind the half-dead geranium. That will come back to life. They tend to look a bit sad this time of year. The sweet peas that are in the milk cartons, I sowed them later, so there's not as much growth. The ones that are in the seed cells, I just put a bit of water in. You can see the roots are starting to grow through. Sweet peas love deep roots, so these are root trainers. Actually, you'll probably see it better in a cell that has more germination. Yeah, you can see it better in that one. Now, I actually think, I actually think I could probably pinch, I might have to break in that one. No, it's okay. I think I can pinch some of these out and try and, grow new ones from the pinchings. So that's all I have in the greenhouse. Now, the rest, the rest of the greenhouse is upside down. Here, you can, you were stuck, my friend. Do you want to explore? The rest of the greenhouse is upside down. I didn't get a chance to clean the floor. If you saw that video where I I made the shelves and stuff, this section looks nice and tidy. The rest of it is messy. I need to scrub the floor. Yeah. Rome was not built in a day, but we will get the greenhouse clean. I was saying at the start of the video that I need to clean and organise and scrub my house for a photo shoot. So, really exciting, but it means I have to do all of those jobs that have been on the long finger, like fixing chippy paint, swapping out light fittings. Yeah, so my house has a photo shoot, but it is part of book promotion. So, it's for a magazine that is going to be out around about May time, but they do them like a bit earlier in advance. So, they work on May, June, all the summer editions now. So they are kindly mentioning my book, and I did one of the interviews with the editor as well. So I think it's going to be a really nice piece. We're just sharing kind of my story with how I got started, projects, few bits, and having a photo shoot in the house. Now, story time. A couple of years back, I actually had a bit of a negative experience with a house photo shoot, and I don't do them. I know a lot of home magazines love to, shoot people's houses and feature them, but I had an experience a couple of years ago. Now, this is many, many years ago when I was starting out, and I said yes to doing one, but my house was upside down afterwards. I remember spending ages cleaning my house, and things were pulled for angles and shots, and I just didn't like the experience of it. And I do all of my photography myself, so sometimes if a magazine reaches out or a newspaper for a feature, I have a bank of, there is 20 to 30,000 images in my Lightroom from different decor things and projects and garden shots. There's a lot of cat and flower shots on my camera roll. But I agreed to this one because I really like the magazine. The editor that I spoke to was lovely. And I'm more confident now to be able to say no if someone wants to pull apart, you know, a couch or redecorate or retweak my house. I'm much more confident to say, no, please leave this as is. You can shoot it. But I got really nice vibes from these. They seem to be way more professional. And it's kind of a good thing because it's like I'm doing a big Christmas clean or a big spring clean to get myself ready for this shoot. So at least I'll have a nice clean house afterwards. It can be quite an intimidating thing having someone come in to shoot your house as well, to photograph it, especially when you're used to kind of doing your own things. And as well, because it's an interior magazine, I feel like my house, it's my style. I don't think it is everyone's style. It's not, you know, what's trendy, let's say. And I'm trying to just have a few styled corners in the house so that the photographer has something interesting to photograph. If all else fails, I'll just get him to photograph the cats. My hair roller, oh my god. Okay, first of all, it's snowing and I had to chase Bjorg because I went out to do the bins and she snuck out the door. Oh, that was wet and it just slapped me in the face. I have radio today, so I have to go to, first of all, hang on, little train of thought, snow. That snow was not on the forecast. And when you look on Google Weather, it doesn't even say it's snowing, it just says it's raining. And I'm like, it's heavy snow. So Ireland, anyone who watches the garden videos, I sometimes get questions about, do we get snow? And obviously on like the west coast, up the north, anywhere where there's like mountains and highland, yes, you would get snow. Brightness down on this camera because it's very bright. Let me just throw my hair back for a minute. Oh Lord, no makeup tutorial here. I have to say I'm loving this desk for putting my face on. Let me find my mascara and we'll have mascara chats. No, we won't. We'll chat while I do my mascara. So this snow is only to last a few hours, so it would be very rare that we would have like a long thing of snow in Dublin anyway and on the east coast. But up the mountains, up Donegal, oh, you get a bit of snow. But I woke up anyway and I was like planning to wear this dress, which I'm still gonna wear because I was like, it's the 1st of March, the day I'm filming this. I wanna wear a cute dress. And I'm going to, myself and Mary Staunton are on the Claire Byrne show at 11. So I'll have to leave soon because I have to drive on the M50. And the M50 on a normal day is chaotic. But throw in a bit of snow and it'll be a free-for-all. So I'm just putting on my face and then I need to read over my notes for the radio and then head over. And then when I come back, I want to do a bit more. I ordered a new lampshade for there and a new vent for there because I painted over the old one. I don't know if you can see it. It's out of shot. So there's a few things I wanted to fix and replace. The lighting is quite bad as well for trying to film YouTube. But I am also supposed, sorry, I'm very rambly this morning. I'm also supposed to have a meeting at 12:30, but the lady didn't confirm. So I'm going to send her a quick email to be like, hey, because if she doesn't want the meeting, then I'm thinking the woods would look beautiful today in the snow. So we might get a snowy walk in. Obviously not in this dress. We will change into our leggings and boots for that one. I'll show you my outfit today. Hang on, I'll fix my hair and I'll come back. Okay, I'm in a flap now because the M50 says my normal journey time will be like 40 minutes. It's 1 hour and 10, so the traffic is crazy. I need to leave now to just make it on time. My 12:30 did not cancel. But anyway, here's my dress. So it's actually a little maxi dress. And I'm just gonna wear a pair of white runners and a jacket. Definitely not dressed for the snow, but I wanted to dress like spring. Anyway, I don't know if I'll get that woodland walk in. I swear I'm not making this up. You can tell by how frizzy my hair has gotten. The weather, it's starting to rain now, so that should wash away the snow. But my Canadian friends, my snowy American friends, the ones who get the snow, would laugh at how bad we cope when there is a bit of snow. So I'm going to do my radio interview here over the phone because I wouldn't have made it. People were abandoning their cars because the off-ramp goes up on certain exits on the motorway and people couldn't get up it. And I drive a Volkswagen Beetle. She's like 14 years old. If SUVs cannot get up the off-ramp, then the Volkswagen Beetle will not get up the off-ramp. As for a lovely snowy walk, the roads, I got as far as like getting onto it and I was able to turn back, but the traffic is backed up. So I don't know, if it rains and it turns to slush, but I did want to get some lovely snowy photography in the woods, but I don't think I'll be able to do that because the traffic is crazy and I have to go. Lads, will you stop making noise in the background? I have to go on a back road. Anyway, my dress was worn for 2 minutes, so I'm going to throw on some comfy clothes. I'm going to wait to do this radio interview and then I think I'm going to start some of the deep cleaning up here that I need to do for this photo shoot. But because I imagine they'll want to take pictures of this nook. Don't mind the bed, it's not even made. So yeah, I have a few things I need to kind of clean. I also did a bit of rearranging around here. I'll show you real quick. So ignore the bed, it's not made, but I tidied up this section over here. So I just have this unit here. The doors into the storage nook are exposed. And then I need to get rid of this rail of clothes, but I did have, if you remember, I had a green piece of furniture here and another piece of furniture here. So it kind of just gives it a bit more breathing space. So once that rail is gone, I have a nice little bit of floor if I want to do a bit of yoga. We all have the rail of doom. So yeah, it's not as cluttered with pieces of furniture. I'm going to put those cozy bottoms on now and another pair of socks. And yeah, so the nook is coming along nicely. And it's much more of a used space compared to what it was if you've seen it in previous videos. And the cats love it because I have a little basket on the top where they can look out and be nosy at everyone.
Weather and conditions on roads throughout the winter.
Yeah, and a couple of tips. So if you are thinking this time of year, some people might be thinking, right, I'm going to touch up the woodwork. I have some chips on the paint. So if you are touching up any chippy paint, my best tip is if you have chips in the skirting board, get some sandpaper and lightly sand the area where you have a chip. Sand back as much of the chipped and flaky paint as you can. Give it a wipe with some sugar soap and then prime it with a primer, and then you can paint over it with the top coat that was already on. So another thing people find is if their skirting boards, maybe they have white doors and skirting boards. I'm sorry, I think that's my Ring doorbell going off, sorry. The joys of doing at-home interviews. So if you find that your paintwork goes yellow, it could be because that an oil-based paint was used. So gloss paint is generally oil-based and satin is usually water-based. So if you find maybe you've moved into a new house or there's old paint and you notice that it's going yellow, it's because the oil can bleed through over time and you get that discoloration. So gloss paint is generally more durable, but I prefer to use satin because you don't get that yellowing because it's water-based. So if you do need to paint...
Yeah, it might last a bit longer.
Yeah. And if you need to paint over any oil-based paint, just make sure that you prime it first with a stain blocking primer. So if you go into any of the like independent decor shops, they'll recommend something that you can put over it to stop it bleeding through. So if you go and try and put a satin over an oil, it's not going to mix. So that is radio done, and my 12:30 meeting that was supposed to be in the Devlin in town is now here. And poor Mary, so I think she's further up on the M50 journey, and I thought she was going to make it in time for this studio, but she got as far as Stillorgan and she had to pull in, and both of us were doing the calls on the phone today. So I miss getting into studio because it's nice to, it's really hard on the phone or with Zooms because you don't have social cues and banter and bouncing off each other. Like, I love Mary and Claire, and it's nice when you're talking like in real life with people. So, and of course my Ring doorbell went off halfway through and the noise of it, and I was like, I'm sorry, that's my doorbell. But thankfully the cats behaved themselves. So I'm gonna make some tea, and now I have a few minutes before I do this Zoom, and then I can do some bits around the house. And after the snow and the rain comes that beautiful sunshine. I love that in Ireland you can have all of the seasons in a 24-hour window. If you ever visit Ireland, always just pack a little raincoat, even if it's one of those foldy up ones that come in a little bag. Highly recommend, even if it is in the height of summer, bring a raincoat. I have had days in Ireland where the sun is splitting the stones and the rain is falling at the same time with these random invisible clouds. So you get all 4 seasons in one day in Ireland, because we are a little island and the good old Atlantic breeze brings many weathers. Job I've been meaning to do for ages is swap out this vent cover that's in the room, because I painted over the last one, and if there's one thing I can share that has been a big learn when it comes to doing DIY projects and decorating around the house is attention to detail, my friends. So I regret painting over hinges, painting over vents, painting over light switches. Now some of them, okay, if it's like the same colour as the wall, but these are the things that when you're in like a fancy hotel, or you're in like somewhere that's really nicely decorated, the attention to detail, whether it's, you know, wallpaper perfectly done around a light switch, these are the little things that make your house look well decorated. You can have fancy wallpaper, but if you've got dodgy edges or bubbles or, you know, a painted vent, these are the things that are going to make it look cheaper, in my opinion. So take your time to do the detail work, or you'll be like me, having to go back over things. Now I had a bit of a fail here because the vent that I bought is too small. So when this wall was wallpapered many years ago, the wallpaper was like done around the vent, and you can see that is being cut out. So I needed to head to the shop to get a new vent, and it was a Saturday afternoon when I'm doing this, so you can only imagine what the traffic was like. Having another fail. This hinge is too thick and it's thrown the door off, so if I do that thick hinge on both sides, my doors won't close. So I have a thinner one. I'm going to see if that works. It's similar to the old one, it's just slightly thicker. That's the old hinge. Oh, so I'll see if this works. Now this is one of the jobs that I thought was going to take me 20 minutes. I wanted to swap out the hinges on these doors. If you saw the video before Christmas, I got someone to build me a storage nook in the knee walls in this bedroom. So I have those attic walls that have lots of hidden potential behind them. So I now have loads of storage, and they made me some doors. The doors were actually recycled from their old fire doors from some building, and they were cut to size. But obviously over winter, with the temperature change, I needed to plane some of the areas on the door just a little bit where they were sticking. I also wanted to swap out the hinges because we used the original hinges that were on the door. There was a bit of paint on them, but then I painted the hinges thinking it might, I don't know, make them look nicer as white, but the paint went flaky and rusty looking. So I'm taking those hinges off. The hinges were quite industrial looking. They almost look like outdoor hinges. So I have these nice cute gold ones, but I did have to do a bit of hand planing on the doors for where they were sticking. So that's a job I needed to do anyway, but I was just being extra fancy putting gold hinges on the doors. But I just thought that little detail might make them look a bit fancier. And now it is time to de-dust bunnyify the room. So one thing that I notice when it comes to photography and interior shots is dust shows up with certain lighting in a room. Dust is so noticeable, especially on lampshades. So sometimes you might not notice it until you're editing the photo in Lightroom or Photoshop afterwards, and you see the kind of halo of dust sitting on things. Now, I needed to de-dust this room because I had work done. Was it December? I think it was like November time when I had those builders in doing the nook. And while I cleaned the bedroom, I didn't properly de-dust it. Like, I hoovered, cleaned as much as I could, obviously changed the bed sheet. I just did my usual kind of housekeeping, but I didn't pull furniture away from the wall to get all of the dust. There was stuff dust sitting on top of things. You know how dust settles, literally, as the phrase goes, the dust is settling. So I feel like it is settled. So I'm now going around trying to de-dust everything. And also I was wallpapering the nook as well last month. So there's just those little detail things that needed to be cleaned up. I'm also feeling a bit overwhelmed with trying to get the house in order, but whenever I feel overwhelmed and I feel like I have a list of things to do, I try to just do it room by room. And my goal for today when I was doing my bedroom was to just get this room as perfect, and well, not perfect, I'm trying not to be a perfectionist. If I can just get this room to as high of a standard as I can, then at least this room is done. I find when I go room to room and not one thing is finished, I feel even more overwhelmed. So if I can get this bedroom how I want it, then I will just maintain it until the day of the photo shoot. I do have some nice bed linen that will be going on, but I'm going to put that on the morning of the photo shoot so that it is just ready to go fresh perfectly ironed, no cat hair on it. I also picked up a few bits just to tweak and style the floral corner, so where the desk is. So I'll pop a link to, you'll see I'm putting up some art framed pieces. They were actually quite reasonable. I'll pop a link to them in the description, and then everything else that I have is from my house. So I took a few old flowers from my little storage nook, and they're just little decor pieces that I've kind of collected over the year. The bunny lamps as well, I got them about 2 years ago from the range. Not a lot of things in this room is new except for those framed art pieces that you'll see. Week in the members area, I did a long Q&A. I haven't done a Q&A in so long, so I asked members for questions, juicy ones too. So this video is now available just for members. If you'd like to sign up, just click the link in the description. So if you want to binge on any older videos, you can do so ad-free with no distractions. I'm also going to be uploading some member-only videos as well in the future, so the likes of Q&As and some behind the scenes too. I have some tea, but I remembered to bring up a little coaster. If I look a bit tired, it's because I just had a painting session with my niece and nephew. I wish I was more appreciative of the energy I had as a kid because they don't stop. And rightly so. When did we just become tired adults? What made us tired? The pressure of life? Before I sign off for this video, which I know was a bit random, I have a photo shoot. Who is she with a photo shoot? My house, I should say, has a photo shoot, and my book is out in May in Ireland and UK and Europe. I actually don't know what the US date is, but I did say it in the other video that you can order from Eason's and they will ship international, and some of the guys who ordered from Australia, Canada, America said that they came quite quickly, so you don't have to wait until probably July will be release time for overseas. And if you pre-order, it will be a signed copy. Cheeky plug. It actually I was in the loo and my niece goes, because obviously the copy of the book that I have downstairs is a dummy book, it's just the cover, and on my old book, so the book will be the same dimensions as my first one, so if you do have the two copies, they'll sit side by side with each other on your library, which was something that it was Nicola who said that you have to keep the two books like sisters, because if someone was to have two of your books, they would nicely sit with each other on a bookshelf. And I was like, I didn't even think of that, because here's me wanting a big fat juicy like Monty Don size book, And she's like, no, for your second one, it should be a sister to the first. And I was like, that's a good suggestion. I'm glad I listened to her. But anyway, my niece says, I was in the loo and she says, where's your book? How are you getting on with your book? Bear in mind, my niece is, well, she's going to be 7 this year. She's still 6. And I was like, well, you wouldn't believe it, but it's gone to print. So it went off on, I think, Thursday. Nicola sent me a text message on Saturday. She was like, I forgot to tell you, because obviously we were doing the final proofreading and checking for mistakes. There's things you have to check, like font, make sure the font is readable on all letters, like all these kind of different things. So it is gone to print. So I actually don't know what happens now. I believe the file, it's just one big PDF, and that gets sent to the printers, and then it gets turned into a physical book. And yeah, it should be back on Irish shores mid-April, which is when I'm going to sign all of the pre-orders. So there will be a cut-off point for the signed ones. I'll put up like a little community post or let you know nearer the time. But if you order by mid-April, you will get the signed pre-order, and that is with eSINs only. I'm sorry if I repeat myself, but Amazon and those third-party booksellers will not have signed copies, not initially anyway. So if Amazon advertises that they have signed copies, I can't stand by that. I can only stand by eSINs because I physically go in and sign them in the warehouse. So, and Bookstation as well, but I'll be signing theirs probably the week after it comes out because I visit the warehouses on different days. Anyway, just thought I'd get that out of the way. My next thing is you guys and your detective work with this writing desk. So 1910, late 1800s to early 1900s, these writing desks. I was saying that on the front has HLL, and I'm after leaving my phone downstairs, but that stands for the maker. It was a UK maker, and I think they made them for 50 or 60 years. Some of you also, YouTube blocks links. I actually have this setting to block links because of the spammers, but some of you were like, I'm trying to post the link and my comment keeps getting deleted. It's just because there was a link attached, but I was able to search what you had put in. So, oh, I spilled my tea. Damn it. I'm getting too excited. An American website had one of these in perfect condition, advertised for $2,600. Then there was UK websites had them for a couple of £100. So they were anywhere from a couple of £100 up to $2,000. So insane. So thank you so much for doing the detective work. And now I'm like, you can probably see that I haven't fixed the crack in the middle. Obviously I did the other repairs in the other video, and now it's because I'm like, well, this could be worth some money. So I don't want to do my botched up repair job. I do need to fix the crack. And a lot of people were saying that my idea to reinforce it underneath. Actually, that furniture book I mentioned in the last video gave an example of a crack like this, but it was in a drawer. And it was saying it looked like linen. The linen was used as a tape for underneath. So you would tape the back of this crack with glue, but they were using like linen, and then you would like fill it and repair it. I was saying that there's a slight adjustment in the level with the crack. So I did have a little look online to see if there is if you Google antique restorers, it sounds quite expensive, but I might ask. I'm still waiting to ask just a normal carpenter, because even if it could be filled and then I can like touch up the stain work, but I am now extra nervous because it's actually worth some money. No, I'm not going to sell it. It was just like a nice little thing to learn that it actually could be worth a few quid. And I'm glad I didn't paint it. So yeah, thanks for your detective work. We have a lovely owl antique. And another thing someone highlighted was, if I can get this all the way down. How is she today? Oh, nearly there, nearly there. There's, I think, something at the back just stopping it from going all the way down. But if you can get it all the way down and lock it, it locks these drawers as well. So I was like, oh, see? Yeah, there's obviously something to do with the mechanism, because as I'm after pushing this out, it won't go back in. I remember when I was assembling this, there's like 2 little poles that they must come up as this goes down, and it stops them from opening. So maybe I should. If anybody knows any good, yeah, you see now that's going in. If anybody knows anyone in the kind of Dublin, Meath, Wicklow, Kildare area that does furniture restoration, but like I don't want a big restoration job that's super expensive, just fix me crack, would you? Fix me crack and get me mechanism working. That's all I'm looking for. You can leave a comment to their thing in the comment section and I'll like check them out. So yeah, if you know anyone who can repair the crack, fix the mechanism, I'd be happy. But otherwise, I'm delighted with it. Yeah, have my little journal in here as well. Okay, I'm gonna end it there. I have so much work to do for this house photo shoot that is kind of stressing me out. And I'm also tackling a decorating job. As soon as I hit finish on this video, I have to start pulling apart one of the rooms to get it ready. Yeah, this should have been coffee, not tea. I will see you in the next one.